Welcome to Daily News Analysis by Shiksha. Today is 11th of January 2023 and this is the list of news that we will be covering for you today. Let's begin with the first. The first is from PIB, source from PIB. It is saying PM to inaugurate 26th National Youth Festival in Hubli, Karnataka. 26th National Youth Festival in Karnataka on 12th of January. Now 12th of January is marked as the birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So this day is known as National Youth Day in memory of Netaji Bose. Now the theme for the festival is Vikshit Yuva Vikshit Bharat. And this festival will have this youth summit in line of G20 summit to witness discussions on 5 themes covering various areas, and the themes are areas of work, industry and innovation, climate change, health, peace and shared future. Now there will be a lot of competitive events also in this festival to promote or to give impetus to local traditional cultures, and there will be one yogathon that will aim to mobilize around 10 lakh people to do yoga. This is the key attraction of the festival. And 8 indigenous sports and martial arts will also be presented in this National Youth Festival, that is the 26th edition in Hubli, Karnataka. The next news is again from PIB. So this is on the start of India Innovation Week that has already been launched since yesterday. So here this has been started by this Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and they are organizing certain workshops and also certain drives across the country. So one of the workshop is to sensitize representatives from these organizations, these financial organizations. You can see here. So they are sensitizing this workshop, particularly workshop on alternative investment funds. It is to sensitize representatives from these banks and NBFCs to mobilize domestic capital into startup ecosystem through this alternative investment funds. So sensitizing how? By asking them to invest, to be part of investment in startups, so that their role also is widened. Now this Assam Samagam is also organized by this department, the DPIIT, and the main focus is to create a robust ecosystem in the Northeast. The main objective is to capacitate and augment knowledge on key aspects of entrepreneurship and continue efforts towards creating a robust startup ecosystem in the Northeast. Now it witnessed wide participations across the states in Northeast and stakeholders of state, startups and aspiring entrepreneurs as well. This was all about the Startup Innovation Week. Let's move to the next. The next is from the Hindu. Here you can see Constitution bans to take up Section 6A of Citizenship Act for preliminary determination. Now we understood about this Constitution bench in our previous analysis also. So in Supreme Court there are certain benches depending on the number of judges in particular bench. So Constitution bench is one of the benches, and it has 5 or 7 judges or more, in fact. So when it's more than 5 or 5 judges in one bench, that is known as Constitution bench. Now here the important focus is to understand Section 6A of Citizenship Act. Now Section 6A of Citizenship Act, it allows citizenship to illegal immigrants, mostly from neighboring Bangladesh, who entered Assam before March 1971. Now, this is one of the features that allows citizenship to illegal immigrants. Now, this was done according to a settlement, a memorandum of settlement called the Assam Accord. Assam Accord on August 15, 1985 by then Prime Minister of our country. Then here, according to the clause, is saying that those who have entered the state of Assam between January 1, 1966 and March 25, 1971 would have the same rights and obligations, except they would not be able to vote for 10 years. Basically, after 10 years, they will be eligible to vote and they will be normal citizens. But the contention here is that many petitions have been filed regarding this section and terming it as discriminatory. Why? If you look at the Article 6 of our Constitution, it states that any person from any areas, if they have come to India on or at 1948, so before or on 1948, they are Indian citizens. Now, as per this clause, it is saying between 1966 and March 1971, those who have entered state after 10 years, they will be regarded as normal citizens. So the petition is terming this is discriminatory. If you look at the Constitution, Article 6 states 1948 is the deadline. Why? 1971 in this case, particularly for Assam, why it is 1971. So that is the case going on in the Supreme Court. Now this bench, Constitution bench, will take up this case and look into it for the preliminary determination. Let's move to the next. Now again, here is the question of particularly identity. This has been taken from the Assam Tribune. Now here it is saying Bodo Accord clauses to be implemented by 2023 Ministry of Home Affairs. Now Ministry of Home Affairs has assured a BTR delegation that efforts will be made to implement all the clauses of Bodo Accord. Now what is this Bodo Accord? Since 1993, there has been 3 signings of accords by the central government and also the representatives of Bodoland in lieu of statehood demand by the Boros. Right? So who are the Boros? Boros are ethnically the largest tribe in Assam. They constitute at least 6% of total population. Now 3 accords has been signed since 1993, and in lieu of giving them state, this accords has been signed to give them more autonomy, particularly to these areas of northwestern Assam. So previously they had BTC, that is Bodoland Territorial Council, from the previous accord. Then they developed themselves into BTAD, Bodoland Territorial Autonomous District. Now, as per the new accord, all these Bodo areas will be known as Bodoland Territorial Region. Now, according to the clause, it allows alteration of the areas of BTR and Bodo language as a social language of Assam or official language. Associate language of Assam government. Now, certain clauses from the Bodo Accord has already been implemented, but some are not implemented yet. Like, for example, release of members of NDFB. So, who are this NDFB? NDFB is the National Democratic Front of Bodoland. They were an armed group, an armed outfit who wanted the creation of state. They have signed this peace with the central government, and many of their top leaders are in jail for crimes. Now, according to this new accord also, they are asking release of members of NDFB, those who did not do heinous crimes. Heinous crimes, basically grave crime like murders or anything like that. Those who were just part, those who are not involved in the heinous crimes, let them come out from the jail. That is part of the accord. Then there are several development packages from central government to the Bodo areas. So this also has been half implemented, I suppose, because we can see a lot of development in the Bodo areas also nowadays. Then one of the most important clause in the Bodo Accord is the demand of Bodo Kachari Autonomous Council for Bodo villages outside the BTR region. So this is one of the clause. So the Ministry of Home Affairs is assuring that all of these clauses will be implemented within this year. Let's move to the next. The next is launch of Prithvi 2 missile. This is a source from PIB, and also we have put one news clipping from the Hindu, that is Defense Acquisition Council headed by the Defense Ministry accepted a few proposals which we will also talk about here. But first, let's talk about Prithvi 2. Now, a successfully launched Prithvi 2 was carried on January 10, yesterday, at Integrated Test Range, Chandipur, in Orissa. Now, what is this Prithvi 2 missile? It is a short range, which has of 350 kilometers range, surface to surface ballistic missile. Now, this has been developed by DRDO, and it is part of India's Prithvi missile series, which includes Prithvi 1, Prithvi 2, Prithvi 3 and Dhanush. So Prithvi 2 is already successful in tests. Now we have Prithvi 3 and Dhanush. Now Prithvi series is indigenously developed capable missiles, and this is capable of carrying up to 500 kilograms of nuclear payload. Okay, so this is about Prithvi 2 missile developed by DRDO, which has been successfully test fired on January 10. Now this second news, that is from the Hindu, here is saying the Defense Acquisition Council, DAC, headed by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, accorded acceptance of necessity for 3 capital acquisition. Now what are these 3 acquisition? One of them is the Nag helicopter, which is known as Nag Helena anti-tank guided missiles, helicopter launcher basically. And then you have anti-tank guided missiles, very short range air defense systems, Vishorat. Then BrahMos cruise missile launchers, and fire control systems for naval ships. So all these 3 projects are indigenous. Now they are in development. So they have this Defense Acquisition Council has approved to have this Nag missiles, BrahMos cruise missile for ships, and this is focusing on air defense. You can see here, focus on air defense, and they are in development, taken again by the DRDO. So in future we'll see all these missiles launchers fitted in our Navy ships. Let's move to the next. This is again taken from the Hindu from an environment point of view. So a new study was conducted by this Indian Institute of Science, and it sheds light on how blackbuck, so you know the blackbuck, the deer in India, have fared in face of natural and human-induced challenges for their survival. Now, blackbucks are only found in Indian subcontinent. Okay. Now, according to the research or the study, they have found that male blackbucks tend to have corkscrew-shaped horns and black to dark brown coats, meaning black to dark brown colors, while the females tend to have fawn colored, which is light yellowish tan color, and they have found it is due to the disbursement of this male blackbucks, which is contributing to gene flow in the species. A female, on the other hand, appear to stay largely within their native population. Therefore, their colors, the coat of their color is similar or the same. Now, in India, this blackbuck population has been broadly clustered around into three areas. One is the northern, the southern, and the eastern. So, an ancient blackbuck population first split into two groups. So, the northern and the southern cluster. The eastern cluster of blackbuck came out later from the southern cluster. So, there has been a lot of disbursement or disperse of genes. Therefore, there has been split in their species. So, this is all about the study that was done by IISC. So, in the future studies, the researchers plan to unravel the blackbuck secrets to surviving in the face of human-induced threats to their landscapes. So, how human activities shape their survival ability, that will be the next part of the study. So, this is important, just important from the environment point of view and the biodiversity point of view, and it can improve your mains answer writing capabilities as well if particular questions on the blackbuck is asked. Let's move to the next. This is an interesting one. You can see this minister. He is the Minister for Sports and Youth Affairs, Kerala. So, Kerala has entered the Guinness World Records for kicking 4,500 penalty kicks in 12 hours. And they beat previous record that was held by Germany with 2,500 kicks. So, this is, as we know, like Kerala is one of India's most favorable place for football. A lot of people support football in the southern state. So, in the fever of World Cup, they also created a new record of taking 4,500 penalty kicks in 12 hours. Let's move to the next. Here we have three news. So, we'll begin one by one. NETA celebrates 200 years of Assam Tea. What is NETA? NETA is Northeastern Tea Association, and they have released a book titled The 200 Years of Assam Tea, 1823 to 2023 by Dr. Pradeep Borua, which has been published by NETA to celebrate the 200 years of tea in Assam. So, Assam Tea has completed 200 years this year. In the other news, you have a small news, which is our Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, launches Jio's True 5G services in Guwahati. This will benefit a lot of researchers and students if utilized properly. Then the third news, very small news but very important from the cultural viewpoint is the Sarok Festival. What is this Sarok Festival? So this Sarok Festival is celebrated by this community called Aka, who are also known as Russo community of Arunachal Pradesh. They are mostly found in the West Kameng district, bordering towards Assam. From Bhalukpong onwards, you find this group of people. Now, this is their traditional festival, Sarok Festival, which is celebrating their nature plus the Mother Earth. Here you can see, and this is one of the most important festival for this, not only for this community but also for the state of Arunachal. It is just important for us in terms of cultural point of view to understand the diversity in Northeast. So who are these people? They are called Russo or Aka of Arunachal Pradesh. So if a question comes, where is Sarok Festival held, or who holds or who hosts Sarok Festival, you can say the Akas of West Kameng. I'll write it here, West Kameng of Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Then the final news is from sports. So here you can read that 3 women umpires make Ranji debut. Now, who are these 3 ladies? These are Vrindarathi, Janani Narayan and Gayatri Venugopalan. They became the first women to officiate the Ranji Trophy. Now, Ranji Trophy is an important trophy for cricket in India. It has been named after India's first test cricketer, Ranjit Singh, who played for England and Sussex, and he is also the first international player from India. Okay. Now it has been started by BCCI. BCCI stands for Board of Control for Cricket in India in 1935, and it is the first class domestic cricket tournament. Mumbai cricket team is the most successful team of this tournament. It is played between the states and also few services team. So this was all about today's news analysis. We hope you're enjoying this series. If you do, please leave a like and comment down below on what are your thoughts about this series. We'll definitely try to improve better when you comment and let us know your feelings. So thank you for watching again. See you soon.